We are looking forward to bringing you this evening's game between Mineral Point and Dodgeville here this evening. The Dodgers will receive the opening kickoff in this contest as Justin Doyle will kick off for the Pointers. As Bobby Horowitz and Brady Pitts deep, and here's the kick, and we're underway. It's a short kick, going to bounce at about the 15-20. He'll be taken up by Horowitz. He'll return it up on the right side, still on his feet, and he takes it up across the 30 to about the 34-yard line. Nice return that time by Bobby Horowitz for the Dodgers, and it'll be first down and 10 for Dodgeville. Ball will be marked right at the 34-yard line. So the Dodgers come out here in the first offensive set here of the evening. That quarterback will be senior Aaron Ayers. He'll be running the offense, and back in his backfield, of course, getting the majority of the handoffs will be the tailback Brady Pitts. Lining up in the fullback position will be Will Buffield as we get set to go with the I formation. Wide receivers both ways for Dodgeville. Ayers barks out the signals. The handoff goes to Pitts. Big hole left side. He's to the 40. Pounds forward about the 43-yard line. And right off the get-go, a nice run here for Dodgeville on the opening shot. A tackle made there by Cody Wardell for Mineral Point, but it's good for 9 yards. Second down and just a yard to go for Dodgeville.
Excellent job that time by the Dodgeville offensive line, opening up a huge hole for Brady Pitts on that left-hand side.
Second down and 1. Wide receiver split right and left. I formation back behind Ayers with the tight end on the right side. Here's a spin to give to Pitts off right tackle. Picks off a 1. Gets away from another. Now coming back against the grain, and by doing that, he's going to lose a yard or two. Pitts that time was pretty close to first down yardage, but tried to search for a few more extra yards. He ended up losing a couple, as he'll be back to the 42-yard line. And that's a situation where if you got short yardage, it's best to just stay close or just get that first down and move on. Don't try for the extra stuff.
I don't know if Brady Pitts knows the meaning of quit, though. He's keeping those legs moving.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that he's always going to be going for the big play. Third down now, and about 2.5 yards to go here for Dodgeville. As Ayers calls the signals, again, Pitts this time left side, and Pitts is stacked right up and no gain. As Mineral Point there in the defense, there and Ulrich on the stop. As the Pointers that time was right there on that off-tackle play that worked so well to start the game for about a 9-yard pickup, but nothing there, and it's 3 and out for Dodgeville. So the Pointer defense comes right out and makes a little statement here. Nice job there by the Pointers as Lance Eccles will be one of the deep men. And Travis Rundy, and the punt by Aaron Ayers for Dodgeville is a good one. End over end, going to be picked up about the 19-yard line. And it'll be Eccles. Eccles straight up the gut to the 30, 35, and then he's brought down there. Tackle made by Justin Athey. And it'll be first down and 10 for the Pointers at their own 35-yard line. Just underway here. 10:01 left in the first quarter. No score between Dodgeville and Mineral Point. I want to thank all the law enforcement personnel up and down Highway 23 there from Mineral Point to Darlington for letting me fly through there to get here on time.
Just made it.
So here we go, Mineral Point on the offense. The spin, the give goes to first man through, pounding it off a right tackle. And the run that time by the Pointers, that was Chris Marr on the carry. And he picks up about 4 yards to about the 39-yard line. Picks up a 4, and it'll be second down and 6. Just kind of catching up here. This is our first look, obviously, of this Mineral Point ball club. Getting kind of a look at this team is Parker Downey. In at quarterback. Downey with one setback behind him. Wide receivers both ways, and a slot off to the left. Here's a pitch to the tailback trying to left side. Nothing there, and the defense comes across. The running back, Brandon Schaff, was stopped behind the line. Good defense that time by Dodgeville. Will Bothfield and others coming across there to stop him for about a 3-yard loss, and it's now 3rd and 9.
Right off the bat, both the Dodgeville defense and the Mineral Point defense getting some negative yardage out of those running backs, stopping them behind the line. Looking good.
3rd down and 9 for the Pointers. A little late substitution in for the play calling as the Pointers step up to the line. Parker Downey will have one back behind him. That'll be Travis Rundy. Wide receivers both ways. And back to pass is And the pass off on the right side is complete. And that pass is complete to Lance Eccles. Nice toss by Parker Downey. But he's going to be shy of the first down as the pass completed across the 40 to about the 41-yard line. Nice spiral that time as Downey put it on the mark, and Eccles with a nice catch. But he's going to be short of first down yardage. It'll be 4th and about 4 for Mineral Point. So the Pointers will punt it away here. And it'll be Pitts back deep, along with Bobby Rowitz.
For the Dodgers is Brady Pitts.
As we get set here for the punt, Theron Ulrich, and he hits a line drive, and Rowitz will pick it up at the 32. Down the sidelines, we got a flag, and knocked out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. That usually looks like either a block behind the back or a clip call going to be called here against Dodgeville. As the return of about 10 yards that time by Rowitz, but with the flag being marked about the 33, the referee now will talk with his fellow gentleman in the stripes. It's going to be illegal use of hands, probably a push in the back, called against Dodgeville. So from the mark of the foul being the 33, they'll mark off this penalty, and that'll back up the Dodgers even more deeper into their territory. Yeah, this afternoon's game that we broadcast on AM 810, and it is a push in the back, illegal use of hands, so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Dodgers. And now the line of scrimmage will be at the 22-yard line. A lot of flags, a lot of false starts, and a lot of things like that in that game. And again, still a really near, only second game for these teams. Here are the Dodgers on the offense. 1st down and 10 at their own 21. And here's Ayers. Play action, rolling to his right. He gets hit as he throws, and it's up for grabs and caught! At the 45-yard line, still his feet into Mineral Point territory. And the catch made by Brandon Lindauer. As Lindauer makes the catch and takes it into Mineral Point territory all the way to the 43-yard line. Big gainer there. In fact, the gain on that play is 36 yards in that completion.
That's just a great job by Lindauer concentrating on the ball. He actually had to turn back, looked behind him there, and actually turned around and got the ball right in the numbers.
And a big catch here by Lindauer, and also some strong runnings. He picked up an extra 6, 7, 8 yards just on sheer determination. 1st and 10 for the Dodgers at the 43 of Mineral Point. Here's the pitch off to Pitts off the left side. Pitts will cut it inside. Now he's going to get caught up by the pursuit of the Mineral Point defense, stacking him up there after a pick of a couple of yards. Luke Fitzsimmons coming across there for the Pointers and others. It'll be a short pickup of about 2, and it'll be up now a 2nd down and 8. First, we got scores coming up here. Scoreboard update brought to you by Subway. The Subways of Darlington, Mineral Point, and Shullsburg sponsoring our halftime and post-game scoreboard updates and replay show. As is now a 2nd down and 8 for the Dodgers. 6:52 and counting here in the first quarter. Wide receivers both ways for Dodgeville. Offset I as Ayers. Play action. We'll go back to pass. Rolls right. Now throws it to the right corner on the way, and it is going to be off the hands and almost caught by Brandon Lindauer that time. Lindauer trying to get behind the defenseman back there, that being Lance Eccles. And Ayers just threw it a little bit too far on the outside, but I'll tell you, Lindauer was pretty close to coming up with that one. Lindauer, a junior, just about making the big play. So now it'll be 3rd down and 8 for the Dodgers. Well, beautiful weather out here. A huge crowd at the Dodgeville High School football field. And it's September. And there's a half moon up in the sky. We're living right.
Take a picture.
3rd and 8. Here's Ayers. Play action. He's back to pass. Rolls down to his right. He'll throw it across the grain, and the ball's up for grabs, and it's going to be caught! And about the 6-yard line. Pass caught by Justin Runhog. As Runhog adjusted to that ball. He was pretty well covered out there by the defender, but he saw the ball the defender did, and he adjusted, slowed up his pattern, and made the catch, and all the way down to the 6-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Dodgers at the 6-yard line of Mineral Point.
And that was another case where a Dodgeville receiver turning around, concentrating on the ball, and coming up with the big pass.
So 2 big pass plays here on this drive. 1st and goal. I formation, back behind the quarterback Ayers. Hand off to Pitts, pounds it up the middle. He'll, the ball's loose, and it's a fumble, and Mineral Point has recovered. Mineral Point has the ball at the 3-yard line, as Pitts fumbled the ball, and that ball was recovered by the Pointers, Theron Ulrich. And so Mineral Point takes over on the turnover, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Mineral Point, deep down in their own territory at the 3-yard line, but they dodge a bullet there with the turnover.
That's something we did see last week. Brady Pitts having a little bit of trouble handling the ball, and right off the bat in this game, fumbles once again.
So 1st down and 10 for Mineral Point, deep in their own territory. 6:06 left here in the first quarter, no score. Here's a quarterback, Parker Downey, has a man in motion going from right to left, and Downey with a quick handoff going to the second man through the tailback. Not much running room there. As the running back that time trying to catch a number. I think it's Brandon Schaff on the carry. And Schaff that time picks up about a yard, maybe 2. They'll mark the ball. In fact, they'll mark the ball about the...
Maybe he lost a yard on that one.
Yes, he did. He did lose about a yard. Okay. Because I'm looking across here, and also...
Yep, you got the bad angle, Bob.
So I'm just trying to take a guess at it. But he did lose a yard in that play, so back to about the 3, 2nd and 11. Here, trying to sweep wide now, left side. There's Mineral Point. Here's a defense for Dodgeville. Really coming across, playing it tough. As the running back for Mineral Point that time, that was Brandon Schaff, and he got stymied by the defense. Will Boffield, and I'll tell you, we can call a whole bunch of people on this play, Ian Clark and others, converging on the play. Also want to give a call to Sean Werpel coming in there. Maybe a half-yard pickup, but as any way you look at it, it's going to be 3rd and long, 3rd and over 10 to go. Here's Downey, back, rolling to his right in the end zone. Still rolling, firing upfield. It's up for grabs, incomplete. Almost picked off by Aaron Ayers as he deflected it, as that pass was intended for Tom Burke for the Pointers. So it's 3 and out for Mineral Point. And now you have an enviable task for the Pointers, and that is to punt it out of deep in their own territory. And the Dodgers will send back again Rolitz and Pitts. They'll be standing at about the 40-yard line of Mineral Point. Big punt here coming up for Theron Ulrich. He's right back at the end line. He gets a good snap, gets a low driving kick, and Rolitz will take it on the fly at the 30, but stumbles forward to about the 24-yard line. Rolitz did a good job on that play with not allowing the ball to bounce. It is a dangerous play at times, but still nonetheless is a good play, and it's incredibly good field position here for the Dodgers at the 25-yard line of Mineral Point.
Yeah, that was one of those punts that was hit so low and so hard that if it hit the ground, it could have went back the other way quite a bit.
So 1st and 10 for the Dodgers. Still no score. 4:40 left here in the first quarter. Wide receivers both ways. I formation back behind Aaron Ayers. Looking like a blitz coming up the middle here. And Ayers will give it to Pitts, and he's stacked up behind the line of scrimmage. Big play coming across the line that time for Tom Burke for the Pointers. Shooting the gap, and you could tell the linebackers, Burke and his compadre back there, were going to shoot that gap, and they came across for a big loss back to about the 30-yard line, a loss of 5 on that play, and it'll be 2nd down and 15.
Oh, yeah, you betcha. They sniffed that out from the get-go and stopped Pitts there for a 5-yard loss on the play.
It was like the defense saw the lineup as far as the offensive set, and they were going to go that way, and they guessed right. 2nd and 15. Here's Ayers, now back to pass, straight in the pocket, now rolling to his right, fires it on the right side, and is knocked away. Pass was intended for Josh Kalish, but a nice play out there in the right side. Travis Rundy in a hand up, deflecting it away, incomplete. It'll be now 3rd down and 15 for the Dodgers.
Excellent play by Travis Rundy to get that hand up, like you said, knock that ball away. Looked like it could have been complete if he didn't break that one up.
So the incomplete pass stops the clock, and now some late arrivals into the huddle. Aaron Ayers went to the sideline after that play. Since he rolled towards the bench, he decided to just stay by the bench to get the play right from the coach and then walk it on into the huddle. 3rd and 15. Wides both ways. Back split, and back to passes Ayers. Rolling right, and he's hit, fumbles the ball, and is recovered by Mineral Point. Theron Ulrich on the recovery and making a big hit. I believe it was Nate Chambers for Mineral Point, as Ayers never saw him coming, blindsided him, and he coughed the ball up, and another turnover, and Mineral Point takes over. A lot better field position now at their own 37-yard line.
You betcha. Number 44, Nate Chambers on the Mineral Point Pointers just came from the blind side of Ayers and just leveled him and made him fumble the ball in the process. Pointers come up with it. Pointers ball.
So, first down and 10 for the Pointers. I formation back behind Parker Downey. Parker, he's straight back in the pocket. He now stops. He pumps over the middle. Kind of a wobbler. Up in the air, knocked away by the Dodgers. As defensively, it was Tony DeMuth swatting that away from the intended receiver of Theron Ulrich, but he basically batted it away from Tyler Hermanson, his own defensive back, who was lining it up for an interception.
I was going to say, yeah, it looked like he kind of batted that away and knocked it out of bounds, yeah, but it looked like that could have been intercepted by the other defensive back on the Dodgers.
Well, it's one of those things when your back is to it, you
don't know. Yep.
You know, they think you can have eyes in the back of your head. Well, I just don't think that can happen. Here's a handoff and right down, coming across the line, Ian Clark defensively for Dodgeville as the handoff went to Chris Marr, and Marr got nothing. In fact, might even lost just a tad on that play. That'll be 3rd and over 10 to go for Mineral Point. You almost have the feeling that both of these coaching staffs really got a good read on what to expect offensively from both clubs, and the defenses are right now kind of beating the offenses to the punch.
Especially when you're talking about the run. Both defenses definitely ready for that run.
So it's 3rd down and about 11 to go, and the wide receivers both ways. As Downey back, he lobs it down the right sideline. Nothing there as the pass is intended for Lance Eccles. Good coverage out on the side there by the Dodgers' Jason Rundhog. So it'll be 3 and out for the Pointers, but at least for Mineral Point, a little improvement in that in the field position. They were sitting down inside their own 5 at one point and had to punt it, and were staring at Dodgeville being on their own 25 with a fresh set of downs.
I'd say they're happy to be punting right now.
I think they're happy punting, but be punting from this part of the field. Ulrich to kick, and he hits this one a high end over ender. Rowas will catch it on the fly at the 32. Tries to get wide, but he's still on his feet. Now he's going to get hammered down. Nice coverage out there. Travis Rundy, the first to get down there, grabbed the leg of Rowitz, and then also just kind of hung on, waited for help to knock him down. So no return on that punt, and at the 32-yard line, Dodgeville will start this drive. 1st down and 10. 2:49 left here in the first quarter, no score. This has to be, even looking through last year, this has got to be the biggest crowd I've seen here at that. I was just here last year, so I'll tell you what, there's a big group of folks here. Glad to see it. Pitch to Pitts, trying to slip the right side, cuts inside. Now he's going to get brought down about the 34-yard line. 35, pursuit for Mineral Point. Very good on the play. Give some credit out there to Tom Burke and others. Also, Chris Marr doing a good job there. Marr's job was to basically keep that play from going wide. He was on the outside. He kept the blocker occupied and didn't allow Pitts to get wide, and only a two-yard gain. 2:20 and counting here in the first quarter. No score between the Pointers and the Dodgers. As a tight end on the left side for the Dodgers. Wide receivers both ways. Here is the inside trap handoff going to the running back, Will Bothfield. He's stopped right at the line. Cordy Wardell on the stop. Wardell, 6'4", 245 pounds, got to that hole and stopped that for a couple-yard loss.
But I tell you what, if it wasn't for the 2 big passes by Dodgeville, both these defenses playing awfully tough tonight.
So 3rd down and about 10 yards to go. And neither defense right now really showing signs of being walked over. Here's the lineup. And it's going to be a rollout to the left side. And again, Ayers is blindsided. The ball's loose. And it's a fumble. And I believe Mineral Point is recovered at the 26-yard line. And that's going to be recovered, I believe, by Luke Fitzsimmons. I didn't catch who got the hit.
Number 33, Brandon Schaff.
Okay.
On the hit on Ayers.
But Ayers rolled to his left, and he had his back to the flow of the defense, and another turnover. And now Mineral Point takes over on the fumble at the Dodgeville 27-yard line.
Lots of hard hitting going on tonight.
Yes, indeed. Here a slot to the right. Wide receivers both ways. As Downey, the quarterback, he will give it off to the first man through, falling forward for a yard or two. Has Nate Chambers on to carry. So Chambers gets it, noses it up to about the 26-yard line, maybe about a yard. It'll be second down and 9. A minute 10 left here in this first quarter. No score between the Dodgers and the Pointers. Glad you're tuned in here tonight on D99.3 for high school football. This is the ultimate test for my throat to do 2 games this early in the year. We'll see how it holds up for the second half. Second and 9. Here's again the quick handoff, and nothing there as Burke, the running back, is stacked right up at the line. Zach Barnett for the Dodgers and others stopped that one for about a yard or 2 loss. I'll tell you what, it's almost like the plays are being given to the defense.
I was just going to say that, exactly. Do they have the playbook here or what?
22 seconds might be the last play here of this first quarter. As now they'll have 3 wide receivers off to the right side, so a trips formation. Downey back to pass. He hobs it up in the air, up for grabs, and it is going to be caught. Touchdown! Mineral Point as Luke Lindsay makes the catch. 26-yard touchdown pass, and Mineral Point jumps out to a 6-0 lead.
Oh, my goodness. Number 10, Luke Lindsay for the Mineral Point Pointers. I tell you what, that is concentration, folks, right there. Sticking with it all the way to the end, comes up with it, bewilders the defensive backs on the Dodgers, and waltzes into the end zone for 6.
Justin Doyle to try the extra point for the Pointers. And the snap is there. The kick is on the way, and it is just good. 7-0. Mineral Point with the lead. We'll take a 30-second break. You're listening to High School Sports on D99.3.
D99.3. Have you been procrastinating about improving your smile because of fear? Complex dental problems? Very sensitive teeth? Dr. Paul Pudruck offers sedation dentistry, a practice whereby the patient is given a small pill that puts them in a sleeping state. The results offer comfortable dentistry for the patient and very little memory of the experience. Call Mineral Point Family Dentistry at 987-3662. 987-3662.
New Country D99.3.
Well, that pass down the right side. I'll tell you, Luke Lindsay did a whale of a job. Like you said, Michael, he used that concentration and stayed with the ball. The defensive back for the Dodgers, it was Tony DeMuth on that far side, kind of got hung up and maybe misjudged how far that ball was going to go.
I tell you what, I thought that was going to be intercepted the way that was hanging in the air.
Here's a kickoff as Doyle hits it, and it'll be Pitts on the return. Pitts at the 20. Up the field he goes to 25. He's stacked up shy of the 30-yard line, and that is the end of the first quarter of play. With the score, Mineral Point 7, Dodgeville nothing. Let's take a 1-minute break. You're listening to High School Sports on D99.3.
D99.3.
I mean, it better start warming up here. Here's 1st and 10 for the Dodgers at their own 29-yard line, and it's a deep handoff to Pitts, and he has to work awfully hard, just a yard pickup, as Nate Chambers on defense making the stop.
Tell you what, great job by number 43, Tom Burke of the Pointers, to shoot right through that gap and got errors just as he made the handoff. Could have been a big loss.
The one thing that defensively, when the Dodgers go into those deep handoffs to Pitts where they give it back to about 6-7 yards behind the line of scrimmage, if you got guys shooting gaps by the center and the guard area, you can really disrupt those plays. And that's how Mineral Point is playing it right now. Out of the shotgun formation, here's Ayers. The bang, a snap goes over his head. He has to go back. He fires it over the middle and nobody there. And that'll be intentional grounding. That will be intentional grounding. Ayers that time. Right now he's saying, well, geez, hey, you know, there was a guy, Josh Kalish, somewhere around the neighborhood, but
not close enough.
I think just in the mere fact, the way he delivered that pass, that it didn't really look like he was looking for a receiver. So intentional grounding will be called, and the coaching staff will argue that, and also that'll be a loss of down, so it'll be 3rd down for the Dodgers, and it'll be 3rd down and 14. Right now, those two long completions are about the highlights for the Dodgers here so far offensively. Since then, it's been kind of like root canal.
Well, you're right.
Well, third down and about 15 to go. Ayers directing traffic. Back in the shotgun. Waits for the snap. This one's a good one. He's back. He's got to roll out of the pocket now. Fires it over the right side, and he's got his man complete, but he's going to be short of first down yardage as Jason Rundhog makes the catch at about the 36-yard line and is down at right there, but he's going to be shy of the first down by about 3-4 yards. And so the Dodgers will have to punt away here, trailing 7-0 in this game. So Ayers will get back into punt formation, and the Pointers now will send back Lance Eccles as one of the deep men. He'll be on the near side of the field as the snap goes to Ayers, and he hits it, end over end. Eccles will take it at the 30, drops the ball. It's loose, still loose, on the field, and it looks like Dodgeville may have recovered, and they have. And the fumble recovery, Josh Kalish. Josh Kalish on the recovery, on the turnover, and now Dodgeville with great field position again, this time at the 32-yard line of Mineral Point. So now the Dodgers, if their offense is going to kind of straighten things out, it's going to be about right about here because they're in deep in Mineral Point territory. But the defense for the Pointers, they're going to have something else to say as Pitts gets the handoff, tries the right side, cuts it up against the grain, but not much there. Maybe gets up to about the 30-yard line. A tough 2 yards on that carry.
Well, I tell you what, that's another case where you could call about 4 or 5 numbers on that Mineral Point defense. Excellent job of pursuing Pitts on that.
Oh, the interior of the line for Mineral Point here, Cody Wardell is doing a yeoman's job. Luke Fitzsimmons also. They're really stacking things up inside. Also going to put a call out there to Brady Potterton, as he's also doing a good job. And they're only going to pick up about a yard, and that's it. And that's a generous yard. Second down and 9. In the I formation with Ayers now straight back in the pocket. Ayers sets, fires it towards the end zone, and it is incomplete. There's the flag. Pass was intended for Justin Rundhog, and the defender was a little late on that play. I believe that was Chris Marr in the defense, and he had the hands up and basically face guarding, and that is going to be the call. It'll probably pass interference. But in high school, the big difference between that and when you do it in pros, ball isn't going to be put in play over there where the play happened near the goal line. It'll come back to line of scrimmage and they'll mark off the penalty. So they'll put the ball at right about the 15-yard line. So a first down for the Dodgers. And it's at their 15-yard line of Mineral Point as they come out of the huddle. Tight end is on the left side. Wide receivers both ways. I formation behind Ayers. Ayers, play action. He'll roll to his left, stop. He'll go to run with it. He cuts up along the left sideline. He gets around the corner. And he gets bumped out of bounds at about the 5-yard line. As he gets bumped out of bounds there by Mineral Point's Lance Eccles. But a nice job by Ayers as he had that roll to the left side, and he gets it close to first down yardage. In fact, we might even have the chain gang coming across here to take a look and see if it is a first down. So pickup of 10 on that rollout play for Aaron Ayers. 9:18 left here in the second quarter. Reminder, University of Wisconsin Badgers plays the University of Akron Zips. 1 o'clock is broadcast time tomorrow afternoon here on D99.3.
You know, I was looking at the paper today, and I swear the point spread said 25 points.
Yeah.
The Badgers were favored by.
Well,
that's incredible.
Well, the Dodgers are going to be shy of about a foot. So it'll be second and short yardage here for the Dodgers. The ball just shy of the 5-yard line. We'll mark at the 6-yard line here. So let's see what play calling we have here from the Dodgers. And with only that short yard to get, and you're down this far deep. Let's see what they come up with here. Wide receiver going to the right side. That's Tony DeMuth. Tight end on that right side is Ian Clark. High formation back behind Aaron Ayers. As the ball is taken right up the middle, trying to get that first down, and that ball given to Pitts. And I believe he is going to be awfully close. It depends where they mark the football. And I don't think he got it. He's going to be shy of the mark again. Third down. No gain on that play. I'll tell you what, Mineral Point interior linemen really showing you that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in SWAL 2 conference play this year. They're playing some stiff resistance here. Third and short. Quarterback sneak. Ayers, he's got first down yardage inside the 5, and he's knocked down close to about the 2-yard line. And that's your simple play with the quarterback just following the center. Nothing fancy, but he gets the job done. And it's a first down and goal for the Dodgers. Now the ball resting at the 3-yard line. 7-0, Mineral Point with the lead, but the Dodgers trying to get the tying touchdown and extra point if they can put it in the end zone. First and goal. High formation back behind Ayers. Calling out the signals. Ayers waits, gets the snap, gives it to Pitts off left tackle, pounds it forward, breaks one tackle, gets near the end zone, touchdown! Brady Pitts picking and choosing his way for a 3-yard touchdown run, and it's now 7-6, Mineral Point.
Just an excellent job of Brady Pitts using that power, going over the left-hand side and getting into the end zone for the touchdown for the Dodgers.
So next big extra point coming up here for Aaron Ayers. Also, it's going to be an interesting extra point because a different holder now as Tony DeMuth to do the holding. Carl Reynolds, of course, is the normal holder for Ayers. So they had all this week to work on it. Let's see what happens. Kick is on the way. It's up, and it is good. And we're tied at 7. Let's take a break. We're listening to High School Sports on D99.3.
D99.3.
Don't get behind on vehicle maintenance. Your local Napa Auto Parts store has great savings on everything you need to get your vehicle in tip-top shape. Friendly expert advice and access to over 250,000 quality parts and accessories make Napa the smart place to shop. So visit the folks at Point Auto Parts in Mineral Point or Dodgeville Auto Supply in Dodgeville today.
New Country D99.3.
7-play drive for 32 yards worth, and finishing up there with a 3-yard touchdown run from Brady Pitts, and an extra point good. We're tied at 7, 8-10 remaining in the second quarter. Coming up at halftime, it'll be the Subway scoreboard report, brought to you by Subway of Darlington, Mineral Point, and Schulzburg. And we'll be getting updates from a whole bunch of games in and around the area tonight. We have our network of Cub reporters, the Jimmy Olsons of the world.
They're on standby.
They're working out there, getting us the information here tonight, and our own Subway scoreboard anchor, John Satterley.
Scoreboard Johnny.
He has bought a new suit, and he's ready to go tonight. Of course, no one told this is radio.
He's looking good for radio.
Yeah, but he looks good for radio.
Thanks, guys.
So here we go. Brady Pitts will have some time to take a breather there as he'll be on the sidelines as the defense will now hit the field for the Dodgers as it'll be Aaron Ayers to kick off. And he hits it, an end over ender. Coming along about the 10-yard line and the reverse faked by Mineral Point. And coming here to the near side on the return is Brandon Schaff, and he gets bounced out of bounds. Hard hitting along that sideline by the Dodger return team. And the Pointers, they will start this drive at about the 21-yard line.
Pointers trying a little reverse fake on that kickoff, and I don't think I saw one Dodgeville Dodger go for it. I think they were all right on top of that.
Well, the whole key of that, more than anything else, is that everyone, all the return defenders, just stay in their lanes. Don't follow the fake. So it's going to be first down and 10 for Mineral Point at their own 21. Here's Downey, spins, he gives it. First man through, pounding it up the middle. getting about 3 yards straight up the gut. And that run, I believe, is going to be credited to Brandon Schaff. So Schaff gets it up to the 25. About 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a second down and 6. 7-7 is the score. Dodgers and the Pointers locked up here in a pretty good matchup. And I'm telling you right now, the Pointers have come out, especially their interior line play has been what has impressed me so far this evening. 2nd and 6. Here's a little misdirection trap play, and the handoff goes there. And picking up about 5-6 yards on a nice little bit of running, Nate Chambers on the carry. As Chambers gets it out to about the 31-yard line. And he's going to be shy of first down yards by about a yard. He's got to get to the 32 for a first down. So it'll be a 3rd down and 1.
Come on, Dodgers!
3rd down, 1 yard to go for the Pointers. They come in with a closed formation. Tight end slot, left side. He'll now go in motion. And the spin. The give goes to the tailback, pounding it forward, close to first down yardage. Might have enough as a ball given that time to Brandon Schaff. And Schaff has got first down yardage. They get it out to about the 32. And enough for the first down.
Nothing fancy from the Pointers here, just pounding the ball straight ahead. Got 3 nice runs in there, and 3 nice runs equal 10 yards and a first down.
Well, guys like Woody Hayes from Ohio State, that was his whole offense. 3 yards and a cloud of dust. Nothing fancy. Here's the spin. The give to the tailback this time, and falling forward again for the Pointers is Schaff as he punches it back up to about the 35-yard line, picking up 3 as he diced his way out there. Tackle made there by the Dodgers linebacking core. Sean Warple in there and others. 2nd down and about 7 yards to go. 6:10 left here in the second quarter. 7-7 the score. And again, a close formation as quarterback Parker Downey calls the signals. He spins, gives it to his tailback again, Schaff. Nothing much there as he gets rode backwards as Ian Clark got a hold of him. Kind of reminiscent of the National Rodeo Finals in the...
They kind of corralled him there.
Yeah, well... The steer wrestling, that's what they call that.
It kind of did look like that.
Yeah.
I just
Get a hold of him by the neck and just kind of yank him back.
They had the lasso, yeah.
Pick up 2 yards on the play. Out to the 37. It'll be 3rd down and about 5 yards to go. Man, I'll tell you, this weather is just remarkably good. But as everyone could be saying, it sure could use a little rain.
Yep.
3rd and 5. Big play here for Pointers on their own 37. Downey back to pass, looking, fires it over the middle. He's got his man open, complete. Out to the 45-yard line. Nice pinch and catch as it's caught that there by Lance Eccles. As Eccles made the play. Drop there by the defense, but not before a first down. That was a nice little play that time by Mineral Point. Nothing fancy, just peeling Eccles off onto the left, flat out there. Found a little seam, little dump pass, and pick up a first down. First down and 10 at the 45-yard line. 4:52 and counting here in the second quarter. Score tied at 7. Here's Downey. This time he will give it off to Schaff, and Schaff bolts forward. Now we'll have to take that back. That's Tom Burke on the carry. Even the faking in the backfield messes up the announcers too, you know. Pick up a 7 on that play by Burke. So 2nd down and 3 for the Pointers. And I'm sure the Pointers are looking at it this way. The more that they have the ball offensively, the more that they keep guys like Brady Pitts and Aaron Ayers on the sideline.
Keep them off the field
from being playing offense.
Yep.
2nd and 3. Here is the handoff going to the front man, and nothing there. Nothing there. The lead back that time got the handoff, and he got stymied right there at the point of the handoff. That was Travis Rundy losing 2 on the play. It'll be now 3rd down and 5. 3rd down and 5 yards to go. 3:45 and counting. Another big 3rd down play here for the Pointers. They come up to the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be a spin to give to hand out to Schaff. Schaff gets into the hole, kind of falls forward. He's going to be shy of the first down by about a yard. Defensively that time, nice job by the Dodgers' Andrew Clayton, who stacked that up pretty well. Also Ian Clark coming off the pile. Pickup of about 3. And it's going to be 4th down, about 1.5 yards to go for the Pointers. Now, if you're Mineral Point, they are going to go for it here as they get the play from the sidelines. They're going to, they may just try to use the strength on their left side on the offensive line. Let's see, close formation. Here is the count. The handoff goes to Schaff up the middle. He's got first down yardage across the 45 to the 42-yard line. And the guy who's probably the most upset on the field right now is number 99, Ian Clark for the Dodgers. He had a hold of the football of Schaff, but he didn't have him wrapped up. And Schaff was able to pull the football out of his hands, and he got forward for a first down, and we have a timeout on the field. 2:50 remaining in the first half. Score tied at 7. Let's take a 3-second break. You're listening to High School Sports on D99.3.
New Country D99.3.
When you need championship caliber service for plumbing and heating problems, call Collins and Hying in Dodgeville. They have been serving our area since 1953. Collins and Hying Plumbing and Heating is a full-service contractor that also works on septic systems and well pumps. They carry Kohler plumbing products and Carrier furnaces. So if your furnace can't keep you warm or costs too much to run, call Collins and Hying for the best in plumbing and heating products and service. That's Collins and Hying in Dodgeville.
D99.3.
Now, that timeout was called by the Dodgers, and that was called by Coach Mike Baronic. And Mike Baronic was not pleased with his defensive effort.
No, the Mineral Point Pointers just doing a little bit of running right up the gut on 4th and long and getting exactly what they needed and then some. First down for the Pointers.
They keep control of this drive. Now at the 42-yard line of Dodgeville. And the Pointers started this drive back on their own 22-yard line. Up at the line of scrimmage, Downey has his team. They put the slot back now back behind him. They set up, and here's a quick handoff to the first man through the fullback. And that's Tom Burke, and he picks and chooses for a couple of yards there, but defensively, Justin Athey came across there, and other black shirts to stop that for a minimal gain, about 2 yards, 2nd down and 8. 2:30 left here in the first half. 7-7 was the score. Dodgeville Mineral Point. Glad that you are locked in here to D99.3 for some high school football this evening. 2nd and 8 at the line. Here's Downey spinning, giving to Schaff off right tackle, breaks a tackle or two, falls forward, and gets it out to about the 35-yard line. Brandon Schaff is kind of a tricky and shifty little runner. He's 5'8", 150 pounds, so you don't have a lot of body mass to take a shot at. He kind of gets lost in the linemen, you know?
He's kind of one of those running backs that's kind of squirmy. He's like sneaking through all those bodies out there, and pretty soon he's diving through people and holding the ball and saying, look, this is how far I made it. And you're like amazed. Like, there he is.
Well, he picked about 4 or 5 yards. It'll be 3rd down and about 3. And here he's another handoff to Schaff off left tackle, puts the head down, a hard hit, and he's going to be very close to first down yards. I'll tell you, Schaff and Aaron Ayers had a meeting of the helmets right about at the first down marker, and Schaff came out of that with a first down. That was a pretty hard hit inside there, and that was a pretty good indication that you got a kid on your team, and Brandon Schaff may not have the size, but I'll tell you what, he'll come at you and put a lick on you.
Definitely hold his own out there.
1st and 10, 1:25 and counting here in the first half. Here's Schaff off right guard. He's got running room, and he's got some more yards as he gets into secondary. Ayers has to come and make the stop on that play. But another pickup of about 7 yards. And now a timeout called by Mineral Point. So a timeout on the field, 1:17 on the clock. Let's take a 30-second break. You're listening to High School Sports on D99.3.
The Gorgon McGinley and Ayers Funeral Home in Dodgeville and the Gorgon Funeral Home in Mineral Point are dedicated to providing you and your family with the highest quality service and compassion that you've come to expect. Gorgon Funeral Services have been serving families of all faiths in southwest Wisconsin for 4 generations. The directors at Gorgon Funeral Services have what it takes to help make a difficult transition as comfortable as possible for you, the family. Please contact Gorgon Funeral Services with any questions that you may have about funerals or pre-arrangements. Gorgon Funeral Services, serving families of all faiths since 1916.
D99.3.
There'll be a 2nd down and 3 situation coming up here for Mineral Point. The ball resting at the 25-yard line of Dodgeville. This has been quite a time-consuming drive.
We are the Dodgers!
How many plays they got on this drive? I mean, there's a bunch. In fact, I've got an unofficial here. Let me just go check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 plays so far. I may have missed one or two, but there's been a bunch. Back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 3. Here is Downey. Takes the snap, gives it off to Schaff, and this time Schaff is ridden down. No gain, maybe even a loss of yardage that time, as defensively Andrew Clayton came across to make the play. Loss of maybe about a yard. Now it'll be 3rd down, and it's about a long 3 yards to go. And another timeout on the field, and we'll keep it right here. And also a reminder, too, that we've got the Subway scoreboard update coming up at halftime. And, of course, that's Subways of Mineral Point, Darlington, and Shullsburg, who are sponsoring our scoreboard updates and post-game. So we appreciate having them on board. Also want to say a big hello to our other sponsors, some of them who are on our broadcast tonight. You'll be hearing their messages as we go here this evening. People like the Magic Mirror Beauty Salon of Mineral Point on board here for tonight. Also Courthouse Inn Restaurant. Also got Port Oil Company on board for tonight's broadcast. Also Nadler's A&W Restaurant. Gosh, I wish they delivered.
I could use a root beer right now.
Woo! 3rd down and a long 3 for the Pointers. 1:13 left here in the first half. Here's Downey back to pass. Lobs it over to the far side, and it is going to be knocked away. Brady Pitts coming back to knock that ball away. Luke Lindsay was kind of loping out there, and he had a step on the defender, but Brady Pitts' speed saved that play.
Oh, you betcha. That Brady Pitts just shot in from that side and knocked that ball down. He may be a short guy, but he can sure leap, knock that ball down. I thought for sure that was going for 6 for the Pointers, but no way. Brady Pitts says not today.
Well, it's 4th down and now a short 4. Ball resting at about the 26-yard line. Tight formation again for the Pointers. We send a man in motion. Here's the spin and the give going to Schaff off right guard, and he's got a room. He's got close to first down yardage. It all depends where they mark the ball. He's about at the 21-yard line. And it depends on the spot. It's going to be very, very close. And it is a first down. So running right off of right tackle, the Pointers, on a 4th down and a little less than 4 yards to go, run it for a first down. 55 seconds and counting left here in the first half. Again, the close formation. Downey calls the signal. Schaff with the run. Nice hole, and he gets pounded after picking up some yardage, but he does pick up a good chunk again, about 5 on the carry. Going to get down to about the 15-yard line. 2nd down, a hurry-up offense right now. 2nd down and 5 at about the 15-yard line. Here's a spin to give the Schaff again, and he hits the hole. Nothing much there, and he gets stacked up after about a yard, maybe 2 yards, as the ball will be marked at about the 13-yard line with 25 seconds on the clock, and another timeout called by Mineral Point. We will keep it here. We don't want to miss this here. This is shaping up to be a very important drive here. I've lost count of many plays that the Mineral Point Pointers have on this drive. It's a bunch.
Well, I tell you what, folks, there is nothing fancy going on here with the Mineral Point Pointer offense. They are just pounding that ball time and time and time again and being very successful with it.
Well, I would say that head coach Tom Steger of the Mineral Point Pointers is really happy with what he sees. When he's got an offensive line that can control the line of scrimmage and be able to move the ball from the old 22-yard line. No spectacular long plays, but just keep chunking out first down after first down. Really gobbling up the time possession here.
Of course, Brandon Schaff doing an excellent job, working extremely hard out there.
Well, now it's Coach Mike Baranek of the Dodgers is talking his defense and just saying, well, you know, you can do all the X's and O's you want, but it comes down to, you know, execution, your heart and what's between your ears. So here we go, 3rd down. Well, about 4 yards to go. The ball at the 14-yard line. Downey over center. He will roll to his left. Downey looks towards the end zone, flings it out there, and it's going to be caught. Touchdown to Luke Lindsay. Coming across, a 14-yard touchdown pass, and the Pointers take a 13-7 lead.
Excellent pass that time. Got him right down there on the goal line. That was number 10, Luke Lindsay, again with another touchdown in this first half to pull the Pointers out to a 6-point lead at this point.
And 18 seconds on the clock. What a drive. Here's the extra point attempt coming out here from Justin Doyle. Snap is good, kick on the way, and it's up, and it is good. 14-7, Mineral Point with the lead. Let's take a 30-second break. You're listening to High School Sports on D99.3.
D99.3.
Ayers Furniture in Ridgeway is your total furniture store. 50,000 square feet of Southwest Wisconsin's best furniture brands. Lazy Boy, Flex Steel, Sealy, Lane, Roy Hill, and hundreds more. All at everyday low sale prices. If you're serious about buying new furniture for your home, you can't afford to buy without shopping at Ayers Furniture. Plus, Ayers Furniture delivers free, and they guarantee your satisfaction. If you really want the very best and beautiful new furniture for your home, it has to be Ayers Furniture in Ridgeway.
New Country D99.3.
Well, unofficially, I've got that drive at 16 plays, 78 yards.
It doesn't get much better than that.
Wow. You're an offensive coach. You're just going, that's the way to do it, fellas.
A lot of time off that clock, too, in that drive.
14-yard touchdown pass to Luke Lindsay from Parker Downey. And it's now a 14-7 lead. Mineral Point with the lead, as Doyle will kick it off with 18 seconds left here in the first half. And he'll hit a ground ball, basically. Going to be picked up by one of the up men. Takes it about the 30, comes to the near sideline. He's got some running room. He kicks it all the way out to the 47-yard line. Nice return by Danny Hess for the Dodgers. 12 seconds on the clock, but with the arm that Aaron Ayers has and the propensity of wanting to throw it downfield, and a lot of that ground can get covered here. So the ball at the 47. That was a very impressive drive by Mineral Point. That was very, very impressive.
I'll tell you what, they had that run after run after run after run, extremely successful with it, then came out with a nice touchdown pass at the end to cap off that drive.
So first down and 10 for the Dodgers at their own 47-yard line. 12 seconds on the clock as Ayers has his team to line. Ayers, he'll fake the handoff to Pitts. Back in the pocket's got time. Steps up, fires it to the near side. He's got a man open. It's complete! Down the sideline! Down the 5-yard line! And it's complete to Jason Rundhog. And 3 seconds left on the clock. That ball completed all the way down to the 5-yard line. Rundhog that time. Oh, he got behind the defense. I'm surprised. But also, Ayers had time to set up. He also had time to step up for that throw and had a real good toss, and that was right on the money.
You betcha.
Yep. Rundhog made the catch and is down at the 5-yard line. So now Coach Mike Baranek, you got one play. Now you got to be saying to yourself, well, you know, we could probably kick a field goal, get 3 points for sure,
which is basically the same as an extra point from there.
Or you can take a shot at the end zone and try to even things up.
Be interesting to see what they do here. They are down by 7, though. So.
Yeah. I know that there are some coaches out, but there's some folks out there thinking, oh, try to kick the field goal. What are you doing out there? But Coach Mike Baranek, I think Coach Baranek right now is trying to instill a little bit of sense of urgency to his team. Mm-hmm. The Dodgers, that is.
Yep.
And he's got him up to the line here with 3 seconds left. Here's Ayers. Has his team up there with the I formation. Wide receiver to the right side. Ayers straight back in the pocket, lobs it in the end zone in the corner, and it is caught! Incomplete, excuse me. I shouldn't have called it caught. It looked like it was caught. There's Brandon Lindauer. Had it over the shoulder, but it must have skidded. He's on the far side of the field, so we don't really have a good vantage of it. But it sure looked good, but it fell incomplete. And that is the end of one half of play and a very exciting first half of action with the score Mineral Point 14, Dodgeville 7. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout, and we'll be back with our halftime as you are listening to High School Sports here on D99.3.
D99.3.
Have cost them in that first half alone. So the Dodgers will kick off to start off this second half. Aaron Ayers has it teed up at the 40-yard line. Then the Dodgers will go right to left as we view the field. Mineral Point will go from left to right. 14-7 lead for the Pointers, and here we go as Ayers puts a boot into it, and it's going to be taken at about the 8-yard line, and here's the return from Mineral Point. Straight up the middle, bringing it out across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. I believe that's Chris Marr on the return. You know we got lights in this press box. Why don't they ever turn them on?
Where are you? Are you in here? Oh. Well, there you are.
Anyway, it's going to be ball marked at the 32-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Mineral Point. Well, now if you're the defense for Dodgeville, you got to be saying to yourself, well, they got to make a statement here to try to stop Mineral Point's advance of the offense. As here's the handoff going to the tailback, and that's Marr. And Marr carries it across the 35 to about the 39-yard line before he's brought down as Danny Hess makes a stop. But another nice pickup on 1st down of about 7 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
Come on, defense!
Mineral Point not showing a very intricate offense, very tight formation. Send a man in motion. They hit the hole quickly and straight up the middle, about a yard, and that's all. As the ball handed off that time to number 33, and that is Brandon Schaff. And Schaff gets it out to about the 40-yard line, just nosing past the 40. It'll be 3rd down and about 2 yards to go. Tackle made that time by the Dodgers on the interior of the line, stopping him for a minimal gain. But again, a 3rd down and short yardage here for Mineral Point. Again, in a close eye formation. Man in the slot now gets into motion. And they'll give it off to Schaff as he will pound it off left tackle. Got to be close to 1st down yardage, but he gets stacked up there by the defense. Nothing fancy, nothing really outward, but he's going to be, looks like he's going to be shy of the 1st down by about a half a yard or even more. Got to credit Sean Warple on stop. So here is 4th and short for Mineral Point. Crowd for Dodgeville here giving a little bit of hooting and hollering, trying to encourage the defense. Here's the expanding to give, pounding it forward. It's Schaff, and he falls forward. Looks like 1st down yardage to me. And it is a 1st down. As Schaff that time was initially stopped, but he just kept the legs churning, and he was able to punch it a little bit forward as Brad Blaybaum made the stop for Dodgeville, but another 1st down for Mineral Point in this game.
It's another example of Schaff, like you said, keeping those legs churning and getting through there for exactly what they needed, that extra yard.
So the ball at the 43-yard line, 1st down and 10. This time the fullback will get the carry, and the fullback carries it up for about a yard. And that being the Travis Rundy on the carry. Rundy gets tackled there by Jason Rundhog after about a 1-yard pickup. That'll be 2nd down and 9. 14-7, Mineral Point with the lead. 9:37 left here in this 3rd quarter. And the Dodger defense being pushed around here by Mineral Point's interior line. 2nd and 9. This time Schaff gets the handoff, and he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That time, good penetration. Zach Barnett came in across there from the linebacker position. Also give a call to Ian Clark as he poured through there. And has a loss of a yard. Now a 3rd down and 10. Another play coming from the sideline for Mineral Point as Chris Marr checks in. Marr checks in for Brandon Schaff. The players come up to the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 10. And the tight formation. This time the wing is out to the right side instead of the left. As Downey back in the pocket, a little shovel pass, and it's caught inside. Nice pass, but it's going to be a short game. It'll be 2-3 yards there. That little shovel pass going to Lance Eccles, as Eccles makes the catch and gets it out to about the 46, but he'll be short of 1st down yardage. It'll be 4th down and about 7 for the Pointers, and I would think that they will be punting it away here, try to back up the Dodgers a little bit down in their own end. So the punting unit in, as Ulrich to boot it away here for Mineral Point. Good snap. Gets it underway, and he hits a beautiful spiral. Rowitz will take it at the 20. Gets away from one man. The 25. Cuts it up the middle. 25-30. Now he stood up there at about the 37-yard line. Tackle made on the return by Travis Rundy, but a nice run back by Rowitz. And the Dodgers have pretty good field position for their first offensive series of the second half, as the ball will be at the 38-yard line.
Well, the Dodgeville Dodger defense making a good statement here to start up this second half. The Pointers got a 1st down, but that was it. Just 1 first down on that drive. And now let's see what the Dodgeville Dodger offense can do.
I'll say that there have been a few little changes, or maybe a little bit of discussion at halftime, as the Dodgers have not really had very much a sustainable offense here this evening. Here's a handoff to Pitts, and he is stopped behind the line. Nice defensive play coming across there for Mineral Point, and that was Tom Burke coming across. And as soon as Pitts got the handoff, he was dropped for a loss. They'll put the ball at about the 36, loss of 2, second down and 12.
No surprise there. That's pretty much what we've been seeing from these big guys on the Pointer defense from those interior linemen this evening.
Talked about it earlier about shooting those gaps, and if you have those deep handoffs, if you can guess right and shoot those gaps, those linebackers can make big plays. Second and 12, again, the I formation. Ayers calls out the signals. They're going to shoot up the middle again, it appears, and now we got movement, and the flags fly. And when you got guys shooting the gap, like Mineral Point is doing, the offensive linemen get a little twitchy.
Yep, a little bit of nervousness.
And so a false start here for Dodgeville is going to back this up to about the 31-yard line. So they'll make it now second down and 17. So second down and 17. 7:13 left here in the third quarter. You know what? We should have got some concessions and started selling them up on the hill up there.
Boy, we could have made a bundle tonight. Jeez.
Ice cold beverages and stuff. We'll make a mint. Second down and 17. Here's Ayers back to pass. Got pressure. Fires it now, and it's going to be overthrown. As the pass intended on the right side to Brandon Lindauer. As Ayers that time feeling pressure from the backside again. It appears to me that Mineral Point has a setup that if it's a roll either right or left, that opposite side linebacker just comes in and delayed blitz, or either a corner or safety comes in on that play.
Right, and they are getting to Ayers tonight. If you recall, they've had a couple sacks, and Ayers dropped the ball a couple times on those sacks. So they're getting to him, and it's working well for the Pointers.
A lot of those patterns that the Dodgers like to run take a little bit of time, and so they're thinking that their people a little quicker. Third down and 17. Here's Ayers back. He's got a blitz. Now fires it here to the near side, and it's going to be overthrown. Almost caught by Jason Rundhog, as it Ayers again was being harassed out there. Had to hurry, and plus he was running to his left and throwing with the right arm, and that's always tough to do.
Well, you got about 2 or 3 defensive linemen from the Pointers in his face. And like you said, he's coming to his opposite side and trying to make a pass across the field, and just overshot him on that one.
So fourth down, and Ayers will punt it away. And Mineral Point will get the ball back here. High snap, but Ayers gets the hold of it, and he hits an end-over-ender. He's going to bounce it about the 40, kick forward about the 30-yard line, and drop right there. Nice defensive play by the Dodgers, Bobby Rowitz, as the return man for Mineral Point got tripped up. He's a little slow getting up also. That's Lance Eccles, as he gets dropped and put down at the 31-yard line, where it'll be first down and 10 for Mineral Point at their own 31-yard line. And again, high school sports here on D99.3, brought to you by Ivy Construction. When you need crushed stone, gravel, or egg lime for any project, let Ivy Construction help with your plans. Give them a call at 987-2967. That's Ivy Construction of Mineral Point. Here it is, first and 10 for the Pointers at their own 31-yard line. The spin, the give to the tailback. Fumbles the football. It's loose, but I believe Mineral Point got it back as they're at the 35-yard line. That time the tailback on the hit of the hole, that was Brandon Schaff, and the ball did kick loose. But when it got kicked loose, it bounced off the feet of one of the Dodgers, and it carried him right back to Schaff in the pile, and he recovered it after a 4-yard pickup. So second down and 6 at the 35-yard line of Mineral Point. Pointers have the ball. 6:05 and counting here in the third quarter. 14-7 lead for Mineral Point. Pointers come out of the huddle. They're not in too big a hurry. They've got time on their side, plus they got more points on the board than the Dodgers do. Kind of slap man to left. Now roves on back towards the play. Here's the quarterback, Downey, back to pass, lobs it over the middle, and incomplete. They tried to get Lindsey back behind the defense, and he was out there as Danny Hess on the coverage But Luke Lindsay got himself back behind there, and if the pass would have been a little bit more on the mark, could have been a big gainer, but incomplete. Third down to 6.
Luke Lindsay had those outstretched hands just barely out of reach of that football that time. Otherwise, he was going to have another big gain tonight.
Well, when you have that close formation like they have, that Mineral Point comes out of, that if you get that end can squirt out there quickly, they can use his speed to get out wide quickly. Here's Downey, back to pass, now rolling left. He fires it, and it's going to be knocked away and almost picked off. Deflected away by Tony Demuth, but Brady Pitts on a deflection almost came up with the interception at about the 45-yard line. As that pass thrown by Downey off on the left side.
Good job, defense.
And I believe that's Ulrich was the intended receiver. Nope, that was Lance Eccles was the intended receiver. Ulrich will do the punting now. As again, it'll be Rolowitz for the Dodgers along with Brady Pitts. No doubt about the Pointers are trying to keep the ball away from Pitts. As Rolowitz, and he shanks this one. As he tried to, it was pretty obvious he was trying to get that ball away from Pitts. And that time, Ulrich had it slip off the side of his foot, and it's going to be great field position for the Dodgers. As the ball will be marked in Mineral Point territory at the 44-yard line.
Well, you kind of get the feeling on that one that if he didn't shank it off the side of his foot, it might have been blocked.
Yeah, it was Tony Demuth, I believe, or excuse me, Will Bothfield was coming in on the pressure. So here come the Dodgers now. 5:29 left in the third. 14-7 lead for Mineral Point. Wide receiver left. Here is the option. Right side. Pitch out to Pitts. Pitts cuts it inside. Gets away from one. Now it's against the grain. To the 40. To the 35. It's foot race time. Cuts it back inside. And he's caught up from the pursuit as he gets it all the way inside the 20-yard line. As Brady Pitts that time getting free and showing you those moves that was good for well over 1,000 yards last year for the Dodgers. And they will mark that ball inside the, they'll mark that ball inside the 15, right around near the 11-yard line. So 36 yards in that carry for Brady Pitts. So the Dodgers now with an opportunity. As they come up the line, the backs are split behind the quarterback, Aaron Ayers. Ayers calls out the signals. Ayers rolls to his right. Ayers is looking. Now stops. Now he's going to have to run for it as the pressure will get to him and drop him for a loss back to about the 15-yard line. Just had nobody open downfield and a good defensive play. And the coverage and the rush coming in there from Mineral Point as Luke Fitzsimmons coming in there and others to down Aaron Ayers for a loss of about 5 yards. It'll be second down and 15. The ball resting at the 16-yard line.
Great overall effort right there by the Mineral Point defense. They had the quarterback contained, and they also had the receivers covered downfield.
Second down, 15 yards to go. Ball resting at the 16-yard line. Here is the option going left, pitch out to Pitts. Pitts cuts inside, but a nice play defensively, cutting it off that time, and that was Luke Lindsay coming in. He was there to turn the play inside, but not only did he turn inside, but he made the tackle and dropped Pitts for a loss of about 3 or 4 yards. Seems Dodgeville has this, they get a big play, and then the following plays, the following play or two are all minus.
That's definitely the case. I was just going to say that. That's what's been happening tonight. Dodgeville Dodgers, they come up with a big play, and then they can't capitalize on that big play.
Yeah, it's going to be third down and a good bunch. Third down about 17. There's the ball at the 19-yard line. Here's Ayers back to pass. He's going to throw it to the corner of the end zone. Double coverage, and it's going to be picked off in the end zone, but we've got a flag, and I believe this will be interference. As the wide receiver out there, it was Josh Kalish. He was double-teamed in the corner, but as the ball was up for grabs, the defender made the interception, but the other defender pushed off on the wide receiver, and that's going to be a penalty and keep this drive alive here for the Dodgers.
A little bit of a push-off there. That was the call by the referees, and definitely the right call.
Well, he bumped into the receiver,
Now let's work it.
and so the ball will be marked just inside the 10-yard line, about the 9. And it'll be first down and 10 for the Dodgers at the 9-yard line of Mineral Point, trying to get a tying score here. 14-7 lead for Mineral Point. High formation back behind Ayers. Wide receivers both ways for the Dodgers. Here's Ayers. Just a quick quarterback sneak up the middle, and he picks up good yardage. He saw the opening up the middle, and he just took the straight route, and he pounds it forward inside the 5. They mark it right about the 4-yard line. Nice little heads-up play that time by Aaron Ayers, as he just said, well, they're not going to be up along the center here. Let's just push it forward and get a chunk here, make it a little easier for us.
Betcha, just right at the back of the offensive line. They'll take you where you need to go.
So second down and goal. Second and goal at the 4-yard line. Ayers, the quarterback, calls out the signals. He'll run the option, keeps it himself, cuts it inside. Touchdown! There it is with a 4-yard touchdown run. And the Dodgers are within 1 at 14-13.
Aaron Ayers that time showing some nice moves, cutting inside, then going outside for the nice 4-yard run and a touchdown for the Dodgeville Dodgers. They now pull it within 1 point.
Well, that was also a good decision on Ayers' part. The fact that the option was taken away from him. And now a big extra point coming up here as Ayers to try to boot it through to tie things up. Snap is good. Kick is on the way. He pulls it left, but it's good. There was a pull, but it still got inside the goalpost. And we are tied at 14 as we'll take a break. You're listening to High School Sports on D99.3.
D99.3. Who is coming through for you? That's Gratz. Gratz Motors has the deal you're looking for. Gratz Motors has selection, great service, and more.
For the best selection on vehicles at the best prices, visit Gratz Motors on Highway 151 in Mineral Point.
Who is coming through for you? That's Gratz.
New Country B99.3.
Well, the Dodgers move it downfield, 44 yards on that drive. And a big run from Brady Pitts. Kind of set things up there, getting him down deep. And then the final 4 yards run in there by quarterback Aaron Ayers on the option, and now it's a tie at 14-all.
And the plot thickens on this rivalry. Great game.
I'm going to say it now. There's 2:39 left in the third quarter, but this is shaping up to be one of those memorable games.
Perfect night, perfect game.
Hopefully we'll have some tape on it, huh?
Great rivalry.
There's the kickoff. It's going to be fielded up, further up the field there by the first man through, and he pounds it up across the 30, near the 40-yard line. And I believe that's Chris Marr on the return. So good field position here for the Pointers as the ball will be marked at about the 39-yard line. And first down and 10 for the Pointers. Now the score tied at 14. Now the people across the way up in that hill, they've been a quiet group up there. You know that? I just don't hear them
out there.
I just don't hear them, I guess. 14-0. And here's Downey. He'll spin and give it out to Schaff as he crawls across the 40. Punches it up to about the 42-yard line where the defense and Sean Werpel and others for the Dodgers make the stop. Also, let's make a call out there to Justin Athey helping out on that. But again, a nice pickup of about 3, maybe 4 yards in the initial carry there from Schaff. Second down coming up. And the ball resting at the 43-yard line. Again, the close formation. Downey calls out the signals. He'll give it off to Schaff off right tackle, and Schaff pounds it up across the 45, but ball is loose, but the official says it was, he was on the ground, and he's pointing to the ground right away and saying that the ground cannot cause a fumble. As quickly pouncing on that loose ball for the Dodgers was Tony DeMuth, but Schaff gets the carry there and picks up about another 3 yards. It'll be third down and 3. 3rd and 3 for Mineral Point at their own 47-yard line. 1:27 and counting left in the third quarter. Score tied at 14. Here's Schaff again. Pounds it in the line. Finds his way forward. I'll tell you what, Schaff does something that only the good running backs can do. When it looks like he has nothing there, he still finds a way to kind of worm his way forward to pick positive yards. He picked up 3 yards when the defense basically had him stop right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I was going to mention that too. He's keeping low. That's the key. He's keeping low when he's doing those runs, and he's coming out kind of, what you would call squirming through the line and getting 3-4 yards of carry.
Ball resting just shy of the 50. First down and 10. And here's Schaff on the carry. And Schaff gets it up the field, but he is stopped there by the defense. As Justin Rundhog on the stop, also give Tony DeMuth a call after virtually no gain on that play. Dodgers trying to fire up a bit on the defensive line. Dustin Lewis there, getting his troops a little fired up there, saying, hey, that was a good stop. That was a good stop. Let's see more of it. Second down and 10 for the Pointers. Now, the story of this game, in my mind, is the offensive line play. As we have a timeout, we got an equipment problem with one of the Dodgers. The story in this game for little old me is just the line play of Mineral Point has been outstanding here tonight.
You betcha. Just excellent.
Second down and 10 for the Pointers. Here's Downey. He'll give it off to Schaff, off right tackle, and Schaff keeps his feet, falls forward again into Dodgeville territory at about the 47-yard line. Another hard hit there delivered by Dustin Lewis, but not before about a 2, maybe 3-yard gain. That'll bring up now a third down and about 8 yards to go here for Mineral Point. And we got a timeout on the field. No, there's not a timeout. That's the end of the third quarter. 3 quarters in the books, and we're tied at 14. We'll take a 1-minute break. You're listening to High School Sports on D99.3.
New Country D99.3.
Looking for a proven program to give you the...
New Country D99.3.
All right, here we go. Fourth quarter coming down. Third down and 8 for Mineral Point at the 48-yard line of Dodgeville. Here is the pitch. And it's going off to Schaff, trying to sweep the left side. Schaff trying to turn the corner. Schaff keeps his feet, pounds it forward, and he's brought down at about the 41, well, make that the 42-yard line as the pursuit finally getting there. DeMuth coming across, Aaron Ayers, and also others coming across. Andrew Clayton also helping out. But again, a pickup of about 5 yards for Schaff. And it'll be fourth down and 2 for the Pointers. And let's see what the call will be. It looks like Coach Tom Steger is going to roll the dice here. He's got the confidence in his line.
And he should. They've been proving it time and time again this evening.
Big offensive play right here. As Downey calls the signals, he spins, gives it off to Schaff. He's going to try to sweep the right side. And the pressure's there, and he's dropped for a loss. Oh, the left quarterback on that side for the Dodgers. That was Jason Rundhog who made the play. He came across there quickly and stopped that play before it had a chance to develop. And so the Dodgers take over on downs at their own 45-yard line.
That was all Jason Rundhog versus Brandon Schaff on that play. It was a little one-on-one. Jason Rundhog grabbing that jersey and dragging Schaff down for the loss and the turnover.
Well, Coach Tom Steger of Mineral Point playing a little bit of a gambler's mode there in the middle of the field, but he's feeling confident his defense can stop the Dodgers. Let's see. Wide receivers both ways. Tight end on the right side with an I formation back behind Ayers. Ayers straight back in the pocket. He sets up. He looks, steps up, fires it down the middle, and up it goes, and it is just off the fingertips of Jason Rundhog running that post pattern. He split the defenders, and boy, that was just off the tippy tips of the fingers.
Oh, I tell you what, Rundhog would love to have that one back. That went right through his hands. It was almost like one of those, oh my goodness, there it is, right there.
Well, that's the one thing when you're running a deep pattern. When the ball's let go from the quarterback, you think, it ain't going to get to me. And it just keeps carrying and carrying. Next thing you know, it's going over your head.
Right in stride,
That's why they always tell wide receivers, just keep running. Going. The ball will get to you.
Yep.
Second down and 10. Wide receivers both ways. Ayers will now back to pass. He'll fire it long down the left sideline again, and this time they're coming back trying to make the catch, but a penalty flag is down. As coming back to try to make the catch was Tyler Hermanson. Did he make the catch? They're saying he made the catch out there. Or did he? I didn't see any indication incomplete or whatever.
So, either way.
So I guess Hermanson made the catch. I don't know. Anyway, pass interference is going to be called against Mineral Point. And they're saying that the pass was incomplete. So it wasn't completed. So the penalty marked out from the 45-yard line down to the of Dodgeville to the 40-yard line of Mineral Point. So a 15-yard penalty on the pass interference. So first down and 10 for the Dodgers. Now at the 40-yard line of Mineral Point, 10:54 left here in the fourth quarter. Score tied at 14. Again, wide receivers both ways. As Ayers straight back in the pocket. It's got pressure. Now fires it here to the near side. He's got a nice catch. Diving reception made by Josh Kalish on the diving grab inside the 30-yard line, about the 29. Nice play by Kalish. Going full out, and the senior makes a diving grab.
Josh Kalish just extending those big arms of his and coming up with that ball. Nice 12-yard gain for the Dodgers and a first down.
Another first down for the Dodgers here, and 10:35 and counting in this fourth quarter. Dodgers will send to the left side Hermanson. To the right side, they'll send Rundhog. As Ayers calls out the signals. This time he'll be back to pass, looking left, fires it and over the head of his intended receiver, Josh Kalish. So he tried Kalish this time on the left side offensively. He made the catch on the right side. He tried the left side, but the pass was just a bit overthrown, incomplete. And it'll be now second down and 10 for the Dodgers. High school football here on D99.3, proudly brought to you by Dodgeville Chronicle, the Advisor, also the Democrat Tribune, and the Pecatonica Valley Leader. Follow your favorite prep teams and athletes in their latest issues. I can see Mike Riley down there taking pictures of the game.
Come on, Dodgers!
Faster shutter speed, Mike. It'll be clearer. Okay. Here's the option left side. They pitch to Pitts. Pitts cuts it inside. Gets away from one's. Got positive yards. And he will fall forward across the 25 to about the 24-yard line. I'll tell you what, Pitts was on the verge of losing yards, but again, that quickness and that elusiveness did him well as he got across the 25 for about a 5-yard pickup. Third down and 5 coming up here for Dodgeville.
That's the thing about Brady Pitts. He has that ability to just stop and then turn in. That was the case that time when he picked up positive yardage on that play.
9:46 left in the fourth quarter. Dodgeville trying to mount the drive to get them back in the lead. It's tied now at 14-all. Dodgers at the line, third down and 5. As Ayers surveys the situation, but before a snap of the ball, we've got flags fly, and we have someone line up offside.
Looks like it's against the Dodgers.
And maybe some movement, or could have been a wide receiver. You know, it's really easy for a high school wide receiver to be offsides, because when they come out of the huddle, they come up there, and if they don't know where that line of scrimmage is right away, if they just take that step across it in high school, the flag is thrown.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what happened that time. Wide receiver on the far side, Lewis Hermanson, kind of got lost out there, and he put a step on the line, and the line judge threw the flag. So third and 10 now for the Dodgers. At the 29-yard line. Ayers calls out the signals. Ayers, they'll run option right. Ayers will pitch it out to Pitts. Pitts has got a whole bunch of white shirts around him, and he still is going to make some yards. The ball comes loose, and it's a fumble. And it's going to be picked up there by Mineral Point. Tom Burke on the recovery. And that is another fumble lost here for the Dodgers. That's 4 that I've counted here this evening.
Boy, I tell you what, I didn't really see a hit on that one. Maybe it just squirted out of Brady Pitt's arms at times, but...
Well, it's not a really incredibly warm night, but still a warm enough night. Get a little sweat on your arms then when you're, you're struggling for an extra yard. Somehow that ball can find its way of slipping through your hands and your arms. Well, the ball goes right back to Mineral Point as they take control in their own territory, their own 27, and Schaff gets the carry, and Schaff trying to get outside, but hanging on to his 1 foot, not wanting to let go. Dodger defender out there.
Number 99, Ian Clark.
Yeah, Ian Clark that time. I didn't quite get the number the first time around, but if Clark doesn't hang on, that's a big gain.
Yep, you bet. He had it wide open on that right-hand side, Schaff did. He could have did some serious damage.
A couple of yards in that pickup, second down and 8. Now a wide receiver split to the right side here and also the left side. A little more spread here as Downey throws it over the middle. He's got his man. They try to do the hook and ladder. Ball swatted away. That's a lateral. That's a loose ball. Fumble on the field is loose. And let's see. We got the big pile up at about the 38-yard line. That was that old hitch and go or hook and ladder play.
Pointers come up with it looks like.
And Pointers come up with it. That pass was complete, I believe, to Lance Eccles, who's going to lateral it, and Aaron Ayers read the play, and he looked like he swatted it away from the lateral coming to the follow-up guy. Probably would have been Brandon Schaff, would have been my guess. I didn't catch the numbers, but nonetheless, Mineral Point dodges a bullet, and they recover, and they maintain possession. Third down, and about 3 yards to go. The ball at about the 33-yard line. Here in the inside trap, and nothing there. They tried running a little bit of a cross play, a little cross buck, and Schaff that time was stopped back behind the line, back at about the 30-yard line, as the defense for Dodgeville came across with some vengeance and dropped him for a loss in the play. So fourth down, and Mineral Point will be punting it away, I'm sure, as Ulrich now will get set to boot it away. It'll be Bobby Rowitz, and again, Brady Pitts back deep. Snap is good, kick on the way, and it's a line driver. Rowitz will run it down about the 39-yard line. Comes up the field, now along the sideline, now looking for some blockers. 45, 50, breaks another tackle, still on his feet, flag flies, gets into Mineral Point territory, but a flag flies right about the 48-yard line. That's usually a block in the back or something of that nature on punt returns. So that'll take away from a good effort by Rowitz. And will probably put some distance between the goal line and the Dodgers trying to get the lead score here.
Indication of a block in the back against Dodgeville.
So a block in the back against the Dodgers. So from the 48-yard line, the Dodgers 48, they'll mark it back all the way to the 38-yard line. So the Dodgers will start this drive at their own 38-yard line. This gives you that heavyweight boxer fight type of analogy here. Both guys are giving each other their best shots.
Yep.
Standing toe-to-toe and having at her.
Heavy hitting.
Here is Ayers, back to pass, lobs it over to the right side, complete to Ian Clark. Into Mineral Point territory at about the 45-yard line. Ian Clark that time had two men on him, but a perfect pass by Ayers, lobbing it over the D. Hit him in stride, and that's a pickup of 17 on the play. First down and 10 for the Dodgers.
Excellent touch that time on that pass by Ayers. Right to Ian Clark, right into his numbers, and Ian Clark able to pull it in for a 16-yard gain.
That's one of those passes where, velocity isn't important. It's just that touch. You got to get over the linebackers and drop it into your receiver. First down and 10. Again, high formation. Ayers back in the pocket, sets, fires it over the middle, and it is caught at the 25-yard line. And that's Brandon Lindauer with the reception. And Lindauer makes the catch to the 24-yard line. So 2 passes, 2 completions, and 2 first downs. And the Dodgers now have it deeper into Mineral Point territory to 24. And we have a timeout called in the field by Mineral Point. So with a timeout, let us take a break. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. You're listening to High School Sports on D99.3.
New Country D99.3.
Kawasaki Mule utility vehicles have earned a reputation as the most capable on the market. Every one features a class-leading combination of 4-wheel suspension and a strong, dependable, purpose-built engine. Choices include the Mule 3000 series with their V-twin engines and the 550 with its handy single-cylinder engine. Stop by the Farmers Implement Store in Mineral Point today and ask for the Kawasaki utility vehicles that are as strong as mules.
New Country D99.3.
Now 6:39 on the clock. 14-14 is the score. Mineral Point and Dodgeville setting up for one of those that they'll be talking about for years to come.
A couple nice back-to-back passes there by Ayers. One for 16 yards to Ian Clark, and then that next one for 20 yards to number 84, Brandon Lindauer.
So first down and 10 for the Dodgers at the 24-yard line of Mineral Point. Trying to get the go-ahead score in this contest. At the line, here's the handoff to Pitts. Pitts gets the hole off right tackle, gets forward and falls forward about the 20-yard line. Pitts that time, I think now that he has had a couple of them skip off his hands, is really thinking a lot and concentrating about getting his hands wrapped around the ball, because when he hit that hole, he wouldn't have had that reckless abandon that you normally see out of his running.
He really had that ball wrapped up, both hands on it that time.
Pick up a 4, second down and 6, ball at the 20-yard line. Matt LePay and Mike Lucas with Wisconsin football tomorrow afternoon right here on D99.3 starting at 1 o'clock. Here is the spin and the give to Pitts now off left tackle. Pitts cuts it inside, gets across the 20, down to about the 17. I'll tell you what, there's some popping going on here. Tom Burke with a big hit, and also Lance Eccles putting a hammer on Brady Pitts on that play. There ain't nobody wearing these uniforms, whether the Dodger black uniforms or the Mineral Point white with the blue pants. There's nobody playing patty cake out here.
No, oh no, not tonight.
Third down and about 4 yards to go for the Dodgers. The ball is at the 18-yard line. They got to get to about the 14 for a first down. Here's the option left. Now Ayers will stop. He'll try to cut against the grain. Nice move. Gets a first down. Breaks into the secondary. And he's got first down yardage inside the 10-yard line. That play looked like it was going nowhere quickly. And Ayers, with a couple of nifty little moves, found his way inside the 10 down to the 6-yard line. First and goal for the Dodgers.
Just an example there of Ayers keeping those feet moving and doing a little juking on the inside. Like you said before, he was caught by the Mineral Point defense, but those nifty little moves kept his feet going, and he's down inside the red area here, red zone.
4:54 and counting. Ayers has his team to the line. He'll spin and give it off to Pitts off right tackle. He is into the end zone. Touchdown! Brady Pitts off a right tackle from 6 yards out. Now gives the Dodgers a 20-14 lead.
Brady Pitts virtually untouched across that right-hand side that time, and he dances into the end zone. Nice 6-yard touchdown run for Brady Pitts to give his team that 6-point lead.
Tell you what, the big play, in my opinion, was the play before that was made by Aaron Ayers. Because that was a run that didn't look like it was going anywhere, that option. As the kick is up for the extra point, and it's good. And it's now 21-14, Dodgers with the lead. 30-second break. You're listening to High School Sports on D99.3.
D99.3.
My nails and I twiddle my thumbs, but they're not half as good as Mikey's fresh buns. Come on, baby, they'll drive you crazy. Good, fresh, sweet rolls like you desire. Try our bakery. It tastes good. I want to tell you that I think you should. It's fine, divine. You really love it when you dine.
Cakes for all occasions, cookies, donuts, delicious breakfast rolls, and so much more. All at the Quality Bakery in downtown Dodgeville.
New Country at D99.3.
John Satterley back here at the studio with a Subway scoreboard update. One final report to you. Riverdale 58, Ithaca nothing. Back to you, Bob and Michael.
Wow. We got Riverdale coming up later in the year for a couple of games. I'm with Iowa Grant out at Camp Randall Stadium. We put 58 points on the board. That turns a few heads. Like, hey.
Yep.
That's 21-14. Dodgeville with the lead. 4:47 left here in the fourth quarter. Aaron Ayers will kick off. Now Mineral Point getting set for the return. Ayers gets the whistle. And here we go. And he boots it. Now beauty. A high end-over-ender. Schaff will take it about the 6. But before he can even make the play, there is a flag right at the 40. And the Dodgers were offsides on the kickoff. Boy, I tell you, Ayers really laced into that. He got that one up in the air pretty nicely.
Can't tell he's pumped up, can you?
Ooh. They'll go back to the 35-yard line. Again, big thank you to sponsors. I always like to emphasize sponsors' names because these are the people that help make sure these games get on the radio here. People like, let's talk about Farmer Savings Bank. They're on board here for tonight's game. Thank you for that and their sponsorship. Also, our good friends at the Courthouse Inn Restaurants. Mitch and the gang always do a great job. And also our all-sports sponsors, people like Quality Bakery, Ayers Furniture, and Napa and Point Auto Parts. As here comes a kick, and this time goes to the far sideline. As we picked up there by Chris Marr. Marr on the return, cuts it along the right sideline, still on his feet. He's across the 35, still cooking across the 40 to 42-yard line. Good hard run back by Marr, giving Mineral Point great field position, and the Mineral Point...
Actually, Marr handed off to Schaff on the reverse on that.
Again, I was trying to
look down for 1 second. The action is tight tonight.
I was looking down at my score sheet and that to just try to... Well, first of all, the lights are not on in here, so there are times where I get these shadows, and if I'm looking down for some information, I don't see anything.
That's all right. That's why there's two of us.
Yeah. Now it's going to be first down and 10 for Mineral Point. And back to passes Downey. Fires it right side, completes at about the 50-yard line. As the pass completed on that far side to Lance Eccles. As Eccles made the play and knocked down there by the defenders. Pick up about 6-7 yards. It'll be a second down and 4. And 4:10 and counting left here in the fourth quarter. 21-14 lead for Dodgeville. Here's a handoff to the tailback, and that's Schaff pounding it up the middle. Now this time Schaff got met at the point of the attack by Andrew Clayton. Got a hold of his leg and held him to only just about a 1 or 2 yard pickup. Going to bring him down third down and about 2. Third down and 2. Just a reminder, stay tuned for our post-game replay of all the scoring plays of tonight's game. Your chance to relive the big scoring plays of tonight's game right after our broadcast. Here's a handoff to Schaff, and he is met at the line, and the big guy inside, Sean Warple, just stuffed that play for Dodgeville. Well, Warple that time, he came across heavy and hard, and Schaff was stopped right there. And that'll be fourth down and 2, and we have an equipment problem with one of the Dodgers. So the officials take a little time to make sure that he's all set. And here's a big play here with 3:15 and counting. Fourth and 2. Downey packed a pass. Looking. Now he's going to try to run for it. Tries to get to the corner, and it's going to be awfully close. It depends where they mark this ball. Boy, this is going to be bring the stakes across. Now this is on the near side of the field where we're looking at it.
Looks like a first down from here. It's going to be awfully close, but that's my guess.
And that's an official timeout. The chain gang is all the way on the other side of the field, and the running by Downey was to the left side, and he just got tripped up. I didn't see who got him by the ankles.
Didn't catch it.
But it was a good shoestring tackle. That's what kept it to being close.
Tell you what, he needed 2, and I think he got exactly that too.
It's going to be close as they're going to stretch out the chain. They stretch it out. First down by about a half a ball. Big first down for Mineral Point.
Oh, that's huge.
Dodgeville side of the field, quiet. Mineral Point side across the way, ecstatic. And I'll tell you what, Downey that time stretched himself out, and I'll give the official credit. That was a heck of a good mark because that was right where he went down. And you know, where his foot goes down. But it was a pretty good mark by that linesman here. First down and 10. Here's Downey straight back in the pocket. Now being pressured. He's trying to get out of the pressure. He runs up the field to 45, gets something out of nothing, picks up 3 yards, and now flags fly from way out wide. That was the linesman or far official that time throwing the flag from way out wide as Downey running up the field, and I believe a face mask call is going to be called against Dodgeville. And it looks like it's just the 5-yard variety where they just grasped the face mask but didn't pull it. So that'll add 5 more yards down to the 40-yard line. And it'll be second down. And down to about 2 yards to go. It'll be just shy of the 40, about the 41-yard line.
Well, I tell you what, give Downey some credit for getting away from a sack on that one. Had a few people in hot pursuit, was able to get some positive yardage.
2:32 left in the fourth quarter. 21-14, Dodgeville with the lead, Mineral Point. Here on this second down and about 2. Now the officials reconferring here. And I think what they might have been just checking with that one linesman, making sure that second down. If they weren't sure whether it was what down it was, they talked to everybody, and they just all agreed it is second down, and they're right on the call. Second down, and here is the handoff, and stopped right there. That's Travis Lundy who got the lead handoff, and he was collared and dropped by Justin Athey and a bunch of other Dodgers. Will Bothfield in there. Loss of maybe even a yard on that play, making it now 3rd down and 3. Now, the Pointers that time trying to give the ball to the fullback, give a little different look. It didn't work that time. 3rd down and about 3. Here's the inside handoff to Schaff. Schaff has it, falls forward, going to be close to first down yardage again. He falls across the 40, about the 39-yard line, in the arms of Will Bothfield for the Dodgers. And again, they look across, but he appears to be short, about a half yard to a yard. So 4th down, another big 4th down play for Mineral Point. 1:42 and counting on the clock. Wide receiver left and right. Here is the handoff to Schaff, straight up the middle. Big pile up. And I'll tell you, it's not going to be that sure of a deal.
He might have got it, but if he did, it's going to be awfully close.
It's going to be the extra effort by Schaff that got him that first down because the Dodger D was there. Well, let's, I should say,
you're going to have to
one hog out to play. And they're going to bring out the, I'll tell you what, this is a big measurement. They bring out the stakes now, and if it's not a first down, ball goes over to Dodgeville, and the game's over.
You bet. Clock's ticking. It's 1:29 left in the game.
And they stretch it out, and it is good for a first down. You know, about 3/4 of a football length, so that's 2 measurements. Mineral Point has gotten through on 4th downs, and they keep the drive alive. It's like Dracula. Get the stake out. It's a tough game, folks. 1st and 10 at the 39. Downey back, fires over the middle. He is picked off! Intercepted by Brady Pitts. Down the sidelines he goes. Cuts it inside to the 35. 30. Still on his feet. To the 20. Cuts inside one more time. Still on his feet. He gets down to the 9-yard line. And the Dodgeville faithful are going crazy. Brady Pitts played that ball perfectly, made the interception, and what a run back on the far side to the middle of the field and cutting back about 3 different times. And the interception gives the Dodgers the ball inside the 10-yard line of Mineral Point, and 1:03 left, and the Dodgers with a 21-14 lead.
Penalty is going to be in the Dodgeville Dodgers, but that won't matter. They'll have it from the 25.
I guess there might have been excessive celebration.
A little excitement.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, or what do they call it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it'll march it back to 25, and I'm sure the Dodgers don't really care. 1:03. You'd think.
You can mark it anywhere. They'll take it.
You'd think that they would just kind of run it up quickly and not do anything out of the ordinary and just run this time off the clock.
We'll see.
21-14, Dodgers lead. Errors at the line. Quarterback sneaks it, falls forward, gets 2 yards. And the timeout going to be called, I'm sure, by Mineral Point. I'll tell you what a game here tonight. And all these great sponsors here on High School Sports on D99.3 helping bringing it to you. People like Edward Jones Investments, Gratz Motors, thank you very much. Also, great sponsors from Ivy Pharmacy, right on down to Pote Oil Company. Thank you very much. More exciting high school football coming up next week here on the radio. We'll tell you about it as the clock keeps ticking away. No timeout was called as Ayers quarterback sneaks it again, and that should be the final play of this game. Unless Mineral Point calls a timeout, but nope. Yes, they will call a timeout. Nope, they're going to call a timeout. They had their timeout to use, and they're going to use it. And you have to do that, folks, because we've seen stranger things before in this game with fumbles on exchanges. Ball suddenly changes possessions and weird things happen. You play it through the end.
Yep, with Ayers going up the middle, he's still trying to get yardage. You never know what might happen here. Ball could come out.
And right about now, I would think that the next snap, Ayers might not go forward. He might just take a step backwards and take a knee. What a game. And let's remind you that next Friday, 2 more games coming your way. Iowa Grant travels to Darlington to take on the Redbirds. Panthers trying to break that Swall 2 winning streak of the Redbirds on their home field. It's going to be interesting. 0-2 Redbirds coming into this game, and Iowa Grant, who really gave Dodgeville all they could handle last week.
Should be a good game.
Should be fun.
Not looking too bad.
1:45 broadcast time at 8:10 a.m. WDMP, and then the night game will be back here at Dodgeville when the Dodgers host Richland Center. 6:40 is broadcast time right here on D99.3. Again, stay tuned for our post-game highlight show and our Subway scoreboard show coming up. 12 seconds on the clock. Ayers, he won't even get the snap. He got the snap, but the flags flew beforehand, and we've got a penalty. And it's going to be a offside against the Dodgers. I'm going to get myself set up here. Planted for the big post-game program, the award-winning post-game program. Have we won an award yet?
Yes, in our own minds.
Oh, in our own mind, okay.
Which is good enough for us.
Okay. If anyone wants to give us awards, just let us know. We'd be happy to take them. Here it is, the quarterback sneak again, and a quick timeout by Mineral Point, and 8 seconds on the clock. So Point calls a timeout, and fourth down. Coming up here for Dodgeville. Now, this is a time when sometimes coaches may be thinking of things of, well, we got 8 seconds to kill. Can we run a play for 8 seconds? Can you give the ball to like a Brady Pitts or to somebody else and have him just kind of run like a little backwards, and then once he runs about 20 yards backwards and then just fall down
in the game.
Game over. We think too much.
Yes, especially right now. The game's lingering.
Think way too much. And again, all those folks up on the hill, great group of folks here for the game, the fans in the stands. Stay tuned for our post-game highlights. We got all the scoring plays on tape that we'll replay them for you. And we'll also get an update on scores in and around southwest Wisconsin. So here we go, 4th down and 8. The ball resting at about the 23-yard line. And there's a deep safety up, and before the play even happens, we got flags flying.
Longest 12 seconds of my life right here.
Offside again, Dodgeville. Brady Pitts is the safety man on this offensive play. He's about 20 yards from the line of scrimmage, playing back in a safety position, and for some reason the ball came loose. He'd be the last line of defense for the offense. Sounds like a kind of a contradiction in terms, but
that's true.
That's exactly what he's doing.
Yep.
We'll try to get these 8 seconds run off here again. See if everyone gets in line right. Okay. Here's quarterback sneak, falls forward. He gets it across the 25 to 24-yard line. And with the change of possession, Mineral Point will get the ball back with 4 seconds left. So, Mineral Point does have a shot at it. One more time. Aaron Ayers is going to play way back. He's going to be back all the way back by his 30-yard line. His 30-yard line. The line of scrimmage right now is at the 23 of Mineral Point. This is what you'd call a prevent defense. This is beyond prevent. And again, we'll have flags fly. We won't even get this. And just a reminder that David Letterman will have his guests tonight. My gosh. Can we, figure out more ways to drag this out?
Mm-hmm. I think they can.
Golly. Well, I think it was a timeout called by Dodgeville to set their defense. Oh, well, again, we've been talking about our broadcast games coming up here. And again, a reminder, Wisconsin Badgers take on Akron. You can hear the broadcast with Matt LePay and Mike Lucas. 1 o'clock will be the broadcast time. 2:30 they take on Akron. And next week, Iowa Grant at Darlington. 1:45 broadcast time on AM 810. And Richardson Center here at Dodgeville. And that'll be 6:40 broadcast time on D99.3. I think we promote everything under the sun. At this rate, Rope and Rodeo Nate might be on.
Yeah, and that's tomorrow night, folks.
And here's Downey, back to pass. He's going to heave it down the field, and it's going to be incomplete. Knocked down, and that is the ball game. Time has expired, but what a game. And what a great effort by both of these clubs. Mineral Points playing it right heavy duty, and Dodgeville coming up with the touchdown late in the fourth to come up with a 21-14 win here from Dodgeville. Coming up, we'll have our scoreboard and our post-game replay show, so stay tuned for the replays of all the scoring plays of this game coming your way. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout. We'll be back with all that coming your way as you're listening to High School Sports on D99.3.
D99.3. More next.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.